Hope y'all enjoyed your Victory Tuesday, but it's time to turn the chapter to week 4 of the NFL season, and Washington may have taken a devastating blow to a key contributor of the offense. I am Rio Robinson. This is Rambling About Washington. Let's get it. This video is brought to you and powered by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino, home of the fastest payouts in the industry and a match bonus of 150% on your first 3 deposits for up to $2,000. Bet responsibly. What's going on, Washington Commanders Nation? It is Wednesday, September 25th, and we are rapidly approaching Washington's Week 4 matchup against the Arizona Cardinals. We turn that page. I hope you guys spent the day like I did, talking your shit, feeling good atop the NFC East. Stop the count, right? Stop the count immediately. And I hope you spent your Tuesday morning, afternoon, and evening watching the entire national media glaze our quarterback and praise our football team for the performance we put out on the field at Paycor Stadium on Monday. But it's time to lock in. It's time to tee up because we need to get our 3rd victory of the season this weekend in Arizona. The one bad thing, other than that stink-ass defense of ours that came out of Monday night's game, is that running back Austin Ekeler was concussed and suffered a laceration to his ear. It looked like 2 guys combined, put their helmets together and hit him pretty hard on this play in the second half of the game, and he was then spelled by Jeremy McNichols for the rest of the game. I don't know Austin Eckler's concussion history, but the concussion protocol states that every player diagnosed with a concussion must follow a 5-step process before being cleared to fully practice or participate in practice again. I don't know how long this process is going to take, but we're doing something different this week. On the dollar and dime of owner Josh Harris, they're doing a little team road trip. Instead of coming back to Ashburn to practice for a couple days, we went straight to Arizona. We will be practicing at Jaden Daniels' old stomping grounds of Arizona State University, and we will be out there the whole week, making Arizona our bitch. We're taking up shop. We're planting our flag there, and we're setting up shop for the week. That's good for the players. It takes out an extra travel day. We're already going to be there. We're already going to get used to some of that dry heat they have to offer in Arizona. Not that it matters because the Cardinals play in a dome, but I like that, though. Just like one nice little brotherhood, camaraderie, bonding trip with the boys. One long road trip with the boys after celebrating a Monday night victory. We're back in Arizona, and we're getting right to the shits. Well, we're all back except Austin Ekeler. Austin Ekeler is back in Ashburn seeing a private doctor and getting the concussion protocol underway. That would be a huge blow to Washington's offense. Would it be fatal? Not necessarily, because Jaden Daniels' legs are still an option and Brian Robinson is liable to go off and pop his shit each week. But Austin Ekeler is the most dynamic weapon we have on this offense. He can gash you in the passing game. He can gash you in the running game. And apparently he can gash you through the kick return game. He opened up week 2 versus the Giants with a house call on a kick return that eventually got called back for a penalty. And then he opened up the second half of the Cincinnati Bengals, picking up a ground ball kick and taking it 62 yards and setting up Washington. We're trying to keep that momentum going from our last 2 games. We have nothing but scoring drives in our last 2 games. And I know it was 7 field goals versus the Giants, but I don't know about y'all. I cannot remember the last time this team has went 2 straight games, not only without turning the ball over on downs or just a turnover in general, but 2 straight games, all scoring drives. That is efficiency. And Cliff Timothy Kingsbury, this is your revenge game, sir. I'm going to get more into detail about that in the previews that I'm going to do. I'm doing 2 Arizona Cardinals previews, one with the content creator and one with a big diehard super fan of the team. So I don't want to get too into that right now, but what is the plan if Austin Ekeler is going to miss time? And my first my first idea. It is time to elevate running back Michael Wiley, everybody's second favorite preseason player. After Tyler Owens, who was the belle of the ball this preseason, Michael Wiley turned a lot of heads, and a lot of us thought he was going to make the active roster after finding pay dirt a couple times in the preseason. He looks explosive, he looks bouncy, and he looks dynamic. So we're looking at a running back room of potentially Brian Robinson, Jeremy McNichol taking the Austin Ekeler role, and Michael Wiley as the third guy. Jeremy McNichols was in there mixing it up. Did y'all see the block he threw on the Jaden Daniels, the Terry McLaurin 27-yard touchdown? He like fucking flipped, suplexed one of the Cincinnati Bengals. Glad it wasn't called for a flag, but he was in there mixing it up. I'm not really sure what he really adds to the running game. He seems like more of the Peyton Barber short yardage type, but Washington's run game is going to get its run game going regardless, but that's a huge blow if Austin Ekeler can't play on Sunday. I just saw what the Detroit Lions offense did to the Cardinals on Sunday. David Montgomery up over 100 yards. Jahmyr Gibbs about 83 yards on Sunday. This team can be ran on. Outside of their week 2 performance versus the Los Angeles Rams. They have been ran on for a good amount by James Cook and the Buffalo Bills and the two-headed monster there in Detroit. We can run the ball on these boys, and just like the plan versus Joe Burrow, let's try to keep the ball out of Kyler Murray's hands as much as possible. This may be a feed B-Rob game to open up the passing game type situation. Washington's rushing numbers weren't anything insane versus the Cincinnati Bengals, but it was the threat of the run and the fact that we still punched in 3 rushing touchdowns versus these boys. Shout out Cliff Kingsbury, because that was such a masterpiece of a game plan on Monday. You're going to have to get a little more creative this week if we're without Austin Ekeler, but we're waiting for any news that we can hear about him in the concussion protocol. But my guess would be on a shorter week coming off a Monday night game that Austin Ekeler is probably going to be out versus the Arizona Cardinals. Let me know what y'all think in the comments about Austin Ekeler's availability and what does that mean for the Washington offense, because this guy's killing you in the screen game. This guy is killing you running the stretch. Y'all see that looked like vintage Los Angeles Chargers Austin Ekeler on that stretch play that he took to the left pylon for a touchdown. Maybe it's reuniting with Anthony Lynn here in DC, who's been our low-key staff hire of the year on the coaching staff so far. But Austin Ekeler looks like a guy again, and everybody who told us he was rinsed, washed, and tumbled, you lied. You lied, because it's not the truth. He looks great. He's running back kicks. He's catching passes. He's running Bama's over, and hopefully this is just something precautionary. Had a laceration on his ear. He had a bandage after the game. I don't know why people thought the bandage on his ear was for a concussion, but that is not the case. He had a laceration on his ear as well. Get that stitched up and get through that concussion protocol, and let's get back to it. Times a week. It's why he did want a lesser and diminished role here in DC. Even though I still felt like, as the more dynamic guy, I wanted him to be the lead. And that is not the kind of back Austin Ekeler strives to be. Shake back soon, because we need you. We need you, Austin, one of our vocal leaders, one of our mental captains of the team, and one of the more mature guys on this football team. We definitely need Eck out there doing his thing on Sundays, but I really think we're not going to see Austin Ekeler this week. We're probably looking for a return of the Cleveland game in week 5, where we come home to play against the Massage Menace, Deshaun Watson, the man formerly known as Deshaun Watson. But it's week 4, y'all. As week 4, Washington sits atop the NFC East. Will we have Austin Ekeler on Sunday? Don't know yet, but let's keep building on our division lead and let's stack some W's in a year where no one expects us to. It's an evaluation year, but ain't nobody said we can't compete. Let's get to it. Shake back and get well soon, Austin Ekeler. That's all I got for right now. Game preview tonight with the AZ Sports Fan. Let's get it in. Hail to the Washington Commanders. Until next time, Commander Rio is out.